we're here tonight at the Houston Astrodome, and lucky that Mike Gallaway shows up, because this is the grand finale to the 1989 season. Mike, what are we going to see here tonight?
Ford Budweiser final round. Going into the last round, we have two trucks tied in the modified truck division. So there's a winner that will be determined here tonight. The next thing we've got is monster truck racing. We have three brand new high-tech, lightweight monster trucks, one conventional. 4 tanks, 2 of them like this with twin motors in them, and 2 conventional. So we've got a very exciting show. We're going to have a world's champion when we conclude tonight.
We're going to have 2-wheel drive champ, 4-wheel drive champ, tractor champ. We got champions ready to be crowned tonight.
Exactly, Ken.
And here you are, and maybe the showpiece of the whole event.
Well, I hope so.
Well, I'm happy you showed up tonight, Mike. You know why?
Why is that, Ken?
Well, because tonight, the Ford Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Association Truck and Tractor Pull Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks, are brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. The Houston Astrodome. Mike, it is the World Series, I guess the Super Bowl of truck pulling tonight. This is where it all comes down to, where championships are decided on points, and our first chance to see a champion crowned will be in the 4-wheel drive competition. It has been a long season, a season of ups and downs, and certainly a season where the lead has changed hands quite a bit. This is a truck, to begin with, that was in the hunt for a while. It's the Old Yeller, Mike and Mark Hunter, from not too far from here, Tyler, Texas. They've been in the sport of truck pulling for 8 years, and they're backing in with the first pull of the night tonight.
Boy, it's a classic 55 Chevrolet and a wonderful 621 cubic inch Jerry Janke built motor. Jerry over in San Antonio, Texas. A great truck, always a top competitor. You see this truck run, you know that you've really watched someone that can win a class.
He's got all the tools here. He's got the Janke engine, he's got the Doug Nash 5-speed transmission, and the big Dick C-Peck tires. I mean, it is the prototype here for a 4-wheel drive vehicle. He will have the first run of the night on the track nearest to us. We run 2 tracks tonight. We'll have 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive competition going side by side.
He'll roll the slack out, and he's the first one to go to the sled, and then the track looks great. We've been down on track side. It's moist. It's got a lot of bite in it. It's not a soft track. Good, hard track, and it should really test the equipment tonight, Ken.
Here comes the Old Yeller. The Mark and Mike Hunter.
The boys from Tyler are truly pros.
Whatever he's got is out the door. It's a full pull for the Old Yeller.
Boy, that's cooking, and I mean that's cooking in a hurry.
On the 2-wheel drive track, our first competitor of the night will be Bobby Johns, pride of West Virginia, and the Kool-Aid Kid.
But Bill Roseberg's driving for Bobby Johns tonight.
What happened to Bobby?
Well, Bobby's at home taking care of things in probably the Kool-Aid.
You think Bill's got to make a phone call when this is over?
No doubt about it. And there comes Bill Roseberg.
Uh-oh. Died halfway down the track.
The motor quit. I think the kill switch looks like it's still hooked up from here. I thought he had a great run going. The motor sounded fantastic.
Bill might want to make that phone call prepaid as opposed to collect.
I think so.
What happened here, Mike?
Well, I'm not real sure, Ken. Watch the truck. The truck runs good. Butterfly's almost opening up now. Front end up in the air. Balance is good on the truck. The truck seems to be hooked, and hooked extremely well. I thought he was going to go out. I thought he had a full pull. But right there, the truck lets up completely. I think I saw just a flash of orange come out of the headers, which is not a good sign. May have melted a piston or got a valve. But the truck quit too fast for anything like that. Now, we have found out that it was a malfunction with the kill switch. Anytime that happens, the competitor is able to come back and pull again.
So, Bobby, forget about the blood pressure pills for a second. Your pal Romsberg has another kick at it as they hook him up to the sled.
Look at the concentration on Bill.
Yeah, Romsberg says, I knew it wasn't me.
But that's what happened, to kill the motor on it, and so consequently he gets another hook at it. Gets another shot.
Good shot of Bill behind the hood. Bill kind of primps himself before he gets behind the wheel. Kind of brushes the beard a little bit, combs the hair, wants to look his best, and here he goes. Uh-oh. That truck's too young to smoke.
Ken, you know that little problem they had earlier?
There it is.
I don't think they should have came back. That's nothing that money won't fix, though. A lot of it.
Tell that to Bobby Johns. Bobby, it's okay for the blood pressure pills now.
A lot of them.
Look at Roseberg says, how am I going to explain this to Bobby?
We saw parts come out from underneath that hood. They were amazing.
Oh.
Let's take a look at it. Now watch him. The truck is hooked good.
Good gear.
It would be hooked good. But watch the front of the truck when it comes apart and explodes. I mean, it comes apart big time. You see parts come out from everywhere on the truck. See the explosion?
Oh, it's like a grenade.
Then there's shielding underneath there to protect it from any of the big parts coming out.
Oh, Romesburg has some explaining to do when he calls Bobby Johns later tonight, but the Kool-Aid Kid lacks the... Oh, there it is. As pretty as you're ever going to want to see a truck. This is the Orange Blossom Special. Alan Gaines is the money behind it, the guru, the brains. But behind the wheel tonight is someone else. Close to Alan Gaines, and a nice shot. There he is. That's Mr. Dews.
Mr. Dews is ready. He's campaigned the truck for Alan all year long, and Alan said, you know, you've done it, you win it. To win it, all he has to do is move the sled.
Alan in attendance tonight, and should the sled be moved, and if it isn't, you got the story of the year, Alan Gaines will win the two-wheel drive points championships.
All he has to do is move. It's over with right there, but he'll go for a full pull.
Go on for it.
Oh, beautiful job. Now, if he doesn't go out, and he does.
He wins it and drives it halfway out the door.
Outstanding job for Mr. Dews and the Orange Blossom Special.
Well, if the Dallas Cowboys are America's team, meet America's puller, Alan Gaines. Alan, congratulations on yet another championship.
Thank you, Ken.
Now, this has been a remarkable season for you from the standpoint that it almost seemed like you were challenged every week, yet you never seemed to give up the lead.
Well, we lost an engine in Oklahoma City, and that put us behind. You know, we lost two shows, and that put us back. And we've had to run hard ever since to get caught up.
So you're playing a little catch-up here along the way.
Well, for the last two shows.
Yeah. It's really changed since you've gotten into this sport, hasn't it? It's no longer just the biggest engine that's going to win. You have to do some other things, don't you?
Well, you got to do a lot of watching, and the other man, you got to watch what he's doing, and driving is a lot of it.
But you got to have a little research and development, don't you?
That's true, and right now I've got a boy that's driving for me. I haven't drove too much this year, Scott Dews, and he's been doing a wonderful job with it.
Yeah, the talk is retirement around here. Is there any truth to that for you?
Well, I kind of doubt that.
You wouldn't want to give it up just yet.
Well, I got to let some of them know what I know.
Alan Gaines, the champion again this year, and for good reason. Oh, backing in is Andy Hoffman. Huntington, Indiana's home for Andy. As you can see, an 89 Ford Ranger and a nice-sized engine, 557. We'll see how it holds up here on the track. The White Knight, the Indiana Ranger.
Good-looking truck, low wheelbase. Just getting into this United States Hot Rod Association Ford Budweiser Championship points chase. Started late in the year. He's going to campaign hard in 1990 with this Indiana Ranger.
He's got the green flag, and the Indiana Ranger is about to climb the lookout post. Here we go.
And it's all Ford front to back.
Going to be so close.
That motor problem's right on the end. Sounded like the motor went to banging on it a little bit.
He got everything he had, though. I'll guarantee he got everything he could out of that engine.
He squeezed all it was worth out of the Ford.
All right, back to the four-wheel drive track. Here is Dan Quello in the Red Rabbit.
This is not the truck he's running for the points championship with.
He will ride later in the Wild Hare, but Mike, I think interesting strategy for Quello. He had a chance to go out in this truck, see what the track felt like, and can make whatever adjustments he needs to when he gets behind the wheel of the Wild Hare.
Well, I think it's definitely going to help him a lot. He'll know if the gear is right, He'll know what tire pressure he has to have. There's going to be a lot of help in pulling these two trucks.
All right, here's the rice burner. Two-wheel drive track. Romsberg behind the wheel of the truck he is most accustomed to.
Well, you know, Romsberg's got to be thinking about the incident with Bobby John's truck.
Yeah, what if he drives this out the door now? What's John's going to say? Sitting at home with his feet up in West Virginia.
Well, he's going to say, Bill, you're unemployed.
That's right. Here comes the rice burner. Toyota cab, Chevrolet engine. And it died at the end.
It popped right on the end. I can't tell. It may have been a blower belt. It sounded like a blower explosion, but it quit, and it looks like it stopped with the sled about 2 or 3 inches out.
They say it is a full pull for the rice burner.
But Bill took his helmet off and really in disgust, you know, threw it in the truck. Let's watch him. Good pass, a lot of balance on it. And here, ground speed is so important in these two-wheel drives, and you're seeing a lot of it. But watch the very center front portion of the truck when it crosses the finish line. There is a blower explosion, but you see the exhaust, the fire out of the pipe. That's not a good sign.
A full pull for the rice burner, the Ford Budweiser points champ last year. Interesting to store. Should there be another full pull, will Romsberg be able to answer the bell in the pull-off?
Doesn't look good. It really doesn't.
Right now, though, he is the man to beat in the two-wheel drive competition. All right, back on the two-wheel drive track, yet another racer, another puller from Oklahoma City. Here is Dana Stevens in the Oklahoma earthquake. I didn't know they had earthquakes out there. I knew they had tornadoes.
They have a lot of earthquakes. They just don't register a lot.
And let's be thankful for that. This earthquake, though, is driven by a student, only a teenager. 18-year-old Dana Stevens wants to make the earth move here in Houston tonight.
Makes her home in Haskell, Oklahoma. She had problems right on the line. Now she's calling for it. Wasn't there. The truck went right. She backed out of the throttle, brought the truck down, then back on the throttle and bringing it around. She had a wild ride.
Oh, man, that bounced like a cheap mattress.
But I'll tell you this much, she really did a tremendous job of controlling the truck.
Exactly, because when that truck starts bouncing, it's everything the driver can do to keep it under control.
Let's watch Dana as the truck's going to come up and go to the right immediately. She's easing into the motor, calling for it gradually. Now, right on the throttle, but watch it go right. Then she's back hard on it, trying to steer it off the sideline. She doesn't know, but she had a lot of room to go. Of course, you never know. You just got to get the front end down.
Too.
And here again, she does it. Cost her right there on the end. It's a good hook, and the truck's got the power.
218 feet and 1 inch for the Oklahoma earthquake.
2 trucks have qualified for the pull-off, the Orange Blossom Special and the Rice Burner, but the decision still unknown as to whether the Rice Burner will be able to get back.
Well, the Rice Burner was cooked at the end of his pull. Despite the full pull, it looked like that Romsberg was not going to be able to answer the bell. If so, this is really just an exercise in showmanship for the Orange Blossom Special.
No, he has to actually move the sled a measurable distance to win the pull-off.
Now, you trying to tell me you don't think that Mr. Dews can move the sled?
There's not a doubt in my mind. We saw him move it all the way out earlier.
If he doesn't move it, Alan Gaines will be behind it pushing him. Gaines, who has won the points championship, if this sled is moved.
Wait a minute, they've got problems. They've got problems with this truck. Fortunately, it happened in the pull-off. What if this had happened before he went in his earlier hook? I mean, we would have had a whole new thing, but now the truck is sitting dead. They have gone over to get some kind of maybe something to prime it with to see if it'll turn over and fire. We're getting ready to run a four-wheel drive. We'll keep an eye on this.
Backing in is the truck that I think Clint Eastwood absolutely loves. This is Sudden Impact. It's owned by Donna Webb and her husband Fred. And more importantly, it hails from Claremore, Oklahoma, which is the home of the most famous Oklahoman of all, Will Rogers, a man who said, "I never met a man I didn't like," and who also said, "I never met Mike Gallaway."
Oh, thanks a lot. Kind of my idol, I would say. Here's Donna Webb, and this is a brand new engine. Freddie, has over the last few months, really been dialing this motor in. 604, it's an AR, all-aluminum Allen Root Ford motor. And let's hope that it can put the program together tonight. He told me earlier, Mike, we're having fuel problems. I've leaned it where it didn't work. Oh. I'm going to fatten the engine up. He's got to put fuel in these 604 aluminum motors, and he did it tonight. Donna, of course, a great job of driving, but Freddie's got to be real proud of that young lady.
We'll have more four-wheel drive pulling action coming up in just a moment.
This is it. This is the big...
This is it, Mike. You're absolutely right. This is the big enchilada. This is the thing that is on the table, the wild hair. Dan Coelho can win the four-wheel drive, the Ford Budweiser four-wheel drive points championship with this pull tonight. Now, he is neck and neck, as you know, with Red Grogan. Coelho has the green flag. And here we go.
No rear tires. There's no traction to the rear tires. The front end is pulling. The rear tires are gone. This is tragic. Unbelievable. What a finish. This man has gone all over the United States chasing these points, and he's broken the rear end on a hook, and it's over with. It is finished.
There's Coelho, and you know what he has to feel like.
Oh, it's got to be absolutely heartbreaking.
What began in Anaheim back in January ends here with no rear tire speed in Houston, and that man right there, Red Grogan, wins the Ford Budweiser four-wheel drive points championship.
I know Red Grogan well enough to know that he is disappointed to win this way.
He didn't want to win it that way.
No, he wanted to run for it and run for it heads up. He'd like to see both of them go into a pull-off.
So there is Dan Coelho, who, as we said, has to feel just awful. But, you know, truthfully, it is a sport that demands so much from an engine and from parts inside the truck that these things happen from time to time. Unfortunately for that man, it happened when the eyes of the pulling world were on him, and that man has won the points championship.
We're getting ready to go to Bill Lashner with the dirt slinger. Here's a man that's campaigned awfully hard this year.
It's a nice-looking tractor, Mike.
Well, they keep this tractor absolutely spotless. It just reeks of beauty. Dirt slinger, and there's the three areas, two crank to crank, one of them up on top. Bill actually sleeved these engines down, made the cubic inches smaller. He says the tractor seems to be hooking even better with the smaller cubic inch motors, but he didn't make them real small.
Don't think he made it out that time.
He smoked it right at the end.
Speaking of smoke, there was smoke coming out the bottom of the tractor, but that's nothing to be concerned about, is it?
It isn't, Ken.
Let's see how the butterflies open, if they're all in unison.
He's gonna go for it. I can't wait any time at all because of the fact the sled's coming up too fast to hold off. You've got to go for it in a hurry, and that's what he's doing right now.
There it is, the dirt slinger, the original. Bill Leischner in the saddle. But it is not a full pull. All right, back to the four-wheel drive track and the hillbilly. And this is the pull that will decide it for Red Grogan. If he's out the door, if he goes farther than Coelho did in that last pull, he is the points championship. He's on the way. And he does.
And he wins it. The point situation where he was pulling two trucks.
He's won it.
There he is. He's won it, and he knows it. He is very, very happy. It'll say 88 and 89. Look at the man coming out there to congratulate him.
Dan Coelho, first to come to him.
That's true sportsmanship.
And Red Grogan has won it, and won it in style with the full pull. All right. right, here's the lineup for the pull-off. Old Yeller, the first to go the full distance. And then Sudden Impact. Of course, Red Grogan, who is the Ford Budweiser points champ, is in the pull-off tonight. And just joining the party is the Oklahoman Kenneth Ewan behind the wheel. So they will pull off to determine the winner of the four-wheel drive competition tonight.
Here's the Texas Funny Farmer.
Why you figure they call him the Texas Funny Farmer?
This gentleman, I've been around him since he started in it several years ago.
Tells a lot of jokes?
Well, no. But
Okay.
he had the funniest tractor when we started you'd ever seen. There's a good shot of Don Finley. Lives in Gainesville, Texas, right across the Oklahoma-Texas line. Welder by profession.
15 years in the business.
That's about what we've all been in it.
And he's got 4 big Rodak engines to power his Texas Funny Farmer.
He likes it. Look at this. This is a good hook on the far side. Boy, they are topping that box and topping it in a hurry and putting the load on these tractors immediately.
That was really shaking as it came down the track, too. He really took himself for a ride.
The clutches go to hooking and everything goes to shaking. And at that time, you know you're on a ride for the life.
Man, this is shake, rattle, and roll.
Let's watch Don. He hammers it hard. He watched Popham earlier. He knew he had to get everything he can get. He can see that the box comes up the ramp so fast, transferring that weight and putting the pressure on the tractor, that you better have all you're going to get in a hurry. Well, it is just, you know, he's down to this point where it's just brutal horsepower and brutal traction taking the tractor down the track.
All right, let's move over to the four-wheel drive track. The pull-off is about to begin, and it looks like there's some frantic work going on in the pit of Ken Ewan.
They're changing a gear in the transmission. That's what they're working on right now. That's mouse, and they are breaking the transmission apart. What they'll do is change the gear in it. And I don't know whether he's going to go higher or lower. I wouldn't have thought he'd have changed because he just took it out.
On the track is Old Yeller, the first truck to go the full distance. So Old Yeller, with Mike Hunter behind the wheel, will be the first in the pull-off tonight.
He will set a mark for all these people to take a look at.
Well, if you recall his pull, which was the first of the night, he was out the door and then some. So they've been chasing this guy all night.
But that's been quite a while ago. A lot of things have changed.
Yep. Well, we'll see. The sled has been re-weighted, actually re-geared, not re-weighted. The gears have been changed on it, same weight, and that sled will come up. The box will top a lot quicker.
Hunter's going to run with it. Oh, boy, did they top the box out in a hurry.
They did, but a nice pull for Old Yeller.
That's going to be a tough one to try to surpass in this class.
Far short of the full pull, they will measure, but a good mark for others to shoot for. Old Yeller being first has given him something to chase.
Here's Donna Webb on the line. She went to the pull-off in grand style. Let's see if she can do it again.
Older cab, a 74 Ford, but as we've said, they've worked on the engine since 1974, and she had a full pull her first time out. Here she comes. Boy, that is going to be splitting hair.
Isn't it, though?
218.5 1/4 is what Old Yeller did. And that lady right there, Donna Webb, has come well close. Here he is, the Green Monster. You talk about a guy that has no problems. Here is the guy that ought to win the tractor points championship tonight.
Art Arfon, and boy, he is some kind of tough.
Now, you and I had a chance to feature him in a story for ESPN earlier this year. Got a chance to spend some time with Art on the road. I suppose there is no bigger legend in this sport than the man that is sitting on the seat of the Green Monster.
That's absolutely correct, Ken. There's just no way there is. This man and the things that he's done for this sport are phenomenal. See, the power begins to come up on
those are helicopter engines, so they take time. If you've ever flown in a helicopter, you know the engines take time to warm up. You just can't throw the switch and fly, and in this case, you can't just throw the switch and pull. And you'll know when they're warmed up because the flames will come firing out.
Art checking over all the gauges. This is the starting point in the vehicles is the most important part of all. Checks everything over, has to get the percentages up, get it up to fire time. And when he comes to life, you'll know it.
Beginning to flame now.
Here he comes.
And that's only half of it. Where do you see this?
Talk about fire in a hole.
Oh, my word. He's a wizard, and he's on his way down the track tonight.
Look at the tire speed. It's around 100 miles an hour. It's going to the left. It's going to the left hard for Art.
Ooh, what happened there?
Not the kind of pull that went hard to the left. Not the kind of pull you want to see out of Art Arfon. But believe me, Ken, he won the national championship tonight.
Despite that pull, he won the national championship. It wasn't vintage Arfons, but it was enough to get the job done.
Well, Red Grogan is just about ready to take the hillbilly back down the track in the pull-off.
And, Mike, we have a new mark to beat. Sudden Impact has gone 223 feet, 8 1/4 inches. Now, that is the mark to beat. Donna Webb has set the mark. Old Yeller bumped off by Sudden Impact. Here comes Grogan, who already has the Ford Budweiser points championship in his hip pocket. He's shooting for the points for the title tonight.
To win this.
Hey. And again, it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Well, the fans are going to wait to see if Red will take home a championship tonight. He's got the big one in his pocket, as you mentioned.
Back on the track is Ken Ewan in the Oklahoman. He is roughly 30 points behind Dan Quello at this point in the battle for what has become second place in the Ford Budweiser Points Championship.
Could make a world of difference. Let's see if all the work pays off.
Here we go.
Oh, it's bouncing again.
It's smoking and it's bouncing.
Kenny broke the rear end on it. He snapped a rear axle. I saw it somewhere between 75 and 100 feet. You're going to see the truck. We get to watch it on replay. You're going to see the rear end snap. Looks like the tire stopped momentarily in midair. The left rear tire at that time quit pulling. Now watch the rear tires. I don't know whether we break an axle or, but right in here is where the problem erupts on the left-hand side. There,
yep.
Right at that instant, you're seeing something turn loose in the back of the truck. The tire's still going, but there's no, there's dirt, but he does have dirt on the right side. The left rear axle, he snapped the left rear axle on that truck. The left rear tire absolutely stopped in midair.
Well, I guess there's a difference between busting your rear end and breaking it, and Ken Ewan. Well, there was no doubt about it. The winner, the points champ, the Ford Budweiser 1989 points champ in four-wheel drive is none other than the pride of Clinton, Kentucky, Red Grogan. He is standing by on the floor of the Dome with our Mike Gallaway. Mike?
Congratulations, Red. 1989 World Champion, Ford Budweiser.
Well, that feels awful good because a year ago I was standing here when I won it, and I didn't feel like I could do it 2 years in a row. I felt like I'd done all I could do. But I run good this year, and I come back, and I just kept going after it, and it feels so good.
You'd like to see him in the pull-off, wouldn't you?
I really would. That way, I wouldn't be guessing. I'd know where we were standing, and I would because I felt like I give it all I had, and I done the best I could do. But I still wish that we would have really solved it down, and we could have seen it.
Well, Red, no one has done it 2 years in a row. Can you do it 3?
I believe, well, I'm not going to say I can because that's looking in the future, but I sure would like to be standing here next year and say that I did.
Red, we would love to have you here next year, and he may be here. It could be 3 in a row in 90 for Red Grogan, the national champion in 1990.
Well, here is Rambunctious 2, but an interesting driver. It is not Milt Bergman. It is his son, Dwayne, who's only 16 years old. Mike, you've seen him drive before, and obviously for a kid who's real young, obviously it looks like he doesn't shave, but for a kid that young, he certainly gets it done.
He's been, you know, this is his first year driving the tractor. He won the Ohio State Fair, first day of the Ohio State Fair. I saw him make a pass in Ohio. It was full pull and a beautiful job. He, like so many other young pullers, this may be their first year, but it's not their first year at the pull. Whoa!
Little explosion.
Well, one thing about Dwayne,
he didn't waste any time.
When you give him the green flag, he's going to stick his arm forward, and we're going home. And he did just that. He nailed the throttle, explosions and all, and just kept right on cooking.
Mike, on this replay, watch the concentration on young Dwayne's face. He's saying, Dad gave me the wheel. I'm going to make the most
now watch
of it.
You watch his right hand.
Look at this.
It's bumping. It is bumping the stop right now, and Dwayne backed off just a little bit and right back on it. He set the tires. Watch the smoke come out. There's an explosion out of the blower. No, that's not going to stop me. I think it made a run better. Still, it's a little fat, a little bit fuel mixture, a little off in the back.
You know, it's great. He's 16 years old. He can't go out on the street and drive. You can't get your license in Ohio till you're 17. He's out here driving on a track.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Amazing. You can drive a tractor at any age.
You could drive it as long as on your own property, but then again, you wouldn't have a tractor like that out on the streets.
There's not a lot of plowing done with twin elephants.
No, it's true. Well, Mike, it ends up the way it was as we came in here tonight in the Ford Budweiser Tractor Class Points Champions. It is Art Arfons who wins it in the Green Monster. No question about that. He had the lead coming in. He didn't lose it tonight. But Bill Leischner did not hurt his chances with the Dirt Slinger tonight. Great pull tonight for the Dirt Slinger. Bill Leischner finishes second for the year. And then in the Blazing Bison, Steve Jaski finishes third. Those are your top three competitors this year in the 7,200-pound tractor class. They are, without a doubt, the cream of the crop. Mike, I'll tell you what, it's a neat deal we have going on now. We have a lot of the Ford dealers here from the South Texas area tonight, and they are about, in essence, I guess, to give away a truck. But it's going to be a little gamesmanship involved in this.
Well, all of the local Houston Ford dealers had a contest where they had one winner that received a key. And one of these keys out of about 20 dealers will fit this brand new special Houston limited edition Ranger pre-runner.
Is that pretty?
Will be available throughout the United States very shortly. And this pre-runner adds the look and adventure to Ford Ranger pickup.
Now, speaking of pretty, well, we have a young lady that's going to lead off. Each one of these people have keys, but only one key will start the truck. And
that person takes this Ford Ranger pre-runner home with them. You know, the sports appearance package, and this is great vehicle. But only one of the keys will fit the pre-runner. Well, Mike, there it is, the ultimate pulling machine. We've seen it so many different times, and here it is again tonight on this very special night. The Bud Boss, Gary Collins, behind the wheel. All of the slant around the Astrodome. Ooh, look at the rear end come off the ground. Now that is, wait a minute. Hard left-hand turn. Look at this. The box is up, and Gary is lapping the Astrodome. He is lapping the Astrodome with the Bud Boss. Unbelievable. He's a wizard. Never in my lifetime of pulling have I seen anything like this. It exploded blower belts at the end of the track, but he looped it. He went down track one, made a left-hand turn. The box is up on it. There he is, the Bud Boss, Gary Collins, El Dorado Springs, Missouri, driving his Aeromax Ford with twin-blown KBs in it. The sled man standing to his right. They're all having a laugh out of it. Ray checked the motors over and said, Gary, we've lost a couple of blower belts. Maybe a couple of valves, but I think it was worth it. You bet. What a pull tonight for the Bud Boss. Never seen it and probably will never see it again.
Now you know why they call it the boss. And coming up, one of these lucky people will put the winning key inside that truck and drive it home tonight. You know, this very special night here in the Houston Astrodome is brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealer. Winning the world over with the 1990 trucks that are built Ford tough. Have you driven a Ford lately? We're back in the Astrodome. This is Ken Broo speaking to you along with Mike Gallaway, and we are waiting to see which one of these lucky 23 has the key that will start this beautiful Ford truck. And so far we've been through quite a few that have it, so the odds on the ones behind in the back of the line are improving.
Can this be the magic key, Ken?
I don't know. We'll hear. Let's listen. We'll hear if the truck starts. Doesn't appear to. Nope.
He's still trying. I don't blame him. I'd still be trying too. 1 in 6 chance. Started at 1 in 20.
1 in 23.
1 in 23.
Let's see if the engine turns over.
What's the expression on her face? That should tell you.
No.
1 in 5. The man from Tomball.
Tomball, Texas. Let's see if Tomball is the lucky key.
Could it be? He looks like he needs a Ford Ranger.
He got it!
That's it.
He won the truck.
He is a happy man. I wouldn't blame him in the least. That is tremendous, Ken.
Unbelievable. Well, he won it. And down here on the floor, we have the special Houston limited edition Ranger pre-runner. The exciting limited edition Ranger pre-runner adds the look of adventure to the Ford Ranger pickups. Have you driven a Ford lately? You ought to. And here in the Astrodome on the night of the World Championships, it is time for the battle of the monster trucks. Hello again, everybody. Ken Broo, Mike Gallaway, and the monster truck showdown is ready to go. Barefoot, Fred Schaefer's pride and joy from Granite City, Illinois. It's the pride of the Chevy line. Will go up against Taurus. A great-looking truck, Mike. Just a superb-looking truck. Jack Willman from Madison, Illinois has a lot to be proud of.
8,000 pounds of monster truck, ultra light, the lightest monster truck here. Fred Schaefer checking in right around 9,500 pounds on his. So there's two lightweight, ultra trick tube trucks that this should be as good a monster truck race as you'll ever see.
Down the track and then over the cars, and here we go.
Schaefer with a little bit of a lead in the turn. Schaefer with a tight turn. Taurus catching up. Taurus is in the lead. Taurus is taking the lead. He's going to open the cars. Taurus with a win.
Taurus wins.
Taurus with a big win. He won it in the turn. Fred had him covered on the straightaway. They went to the turns, and Taurus, nailing the throttle with a tight turn, just absolutely stretched the lead out as they went over the last set of cars.
So Taurus moves to the finals, and this elimination heat will be between Andy Brass in Bigfoot. There it is, the pride of the Ford line. And he'll go up against Mike, just a superb-looking truck, the Texas Stomper from Victoria, Texas, Larry Garville at the wheel. Here we go.
Look at the Bigfoot truck. This is all new. Look at the body roll. Look at the movement in the body that's made to do that. They're extremely close. Extremely close. Andy Bass, though, he kind of takes this one on a fly.
That was no contest.
No, it wasn't. Andy Bass weighing in at about 10,000 pounds. The Texas Stomper, 14,500 pounds. But the movement in the body of the Bigfoot truck is really amazing as how much movement you're getting out of that truck. What the weight is moving around, the way that the truck is transferring the weight. It is built almost identical to a Mickey Thompson off-road type vehicle. That's what they built it for. That's the intention where they got part of the design. Bob Chandler, the owner, the creator of this, built and designed all of it.
Bigfoot, of course, the winner of the heat, comes on the track now to duke it out with Taurus. And this, the finals of the Battle of the Monster Trucks. We have yet to see the tanks. They're coming up. The Monster Trucks have to settle this issue first.
This should be a great race also. Andy Bass sets in this truck. The truck designed the way Andy wanted as far as comfort is concerned. Jack Willman built that one. The shocks on the truck were his own design. They came up with yourself. Bigfoot out of the hole. Good shot on him. Bigfoot with a big lead. Now can Andy Bass bring it out? Andy's in trouble. He's in trouble. Over he goes. Bigfoot has just turned over on the side. Taurus takes the win. Andy Bass, the truck got upside down. It got to leaning bad and rolled over on its side. The truck went over. It's on Andy's side of the truck. Let's see. We've got a shot of it. If we can get, Andy is moving around. He's still strapped in the truck upside down.
You could see it was...
The crew is there.
You could see he had a lot of trouble, Mike, coming around the turn.
Well, he got on the throttle. He tried to drive it out, which is, you know, the normal thing you have to do. Now they're pulling him out of the truck. He has got to be more than a little shaken on that. They'll bring him out.
He's okay.
He looks to be all right.
And there's so many safety...
He is all right. Look at that.
So many safety features that go into those trucks, and right there, I think, is a prime indication of what could have been a serious injury prevented by the design of the truck and the equipment that he wears. But I know that he has to be upset with what has happened there. That is obviously not in the game.
Look at the expression on his face. Andy wants to look at it. Let's take another look at it, Ken. It's definitely worth the other look. Now, here's the shot. Look at the truck transfer the weight. Picks the front end up off the ground. The bars are extended all they can extend. He's got a lead. But here in this area is where he starts to get in trouble. Shuts down. The weight comes back around. Watch him in the turn. It's a tight turn, but you're going to see the left front tire begin to pick up. He does the right thing. He nails the throttle trying to get it to come down. Rolls over to its side and then skids across the track. Well, Taurus goes on. Jack Willman goes on to take a win with that race. But Andy ends up on his side, and Bigfoot now in pieces on the track.
Not that you expect this to happen, but you have to prepare for the inevitable, and this certainly happens from time to time. They practice what to do in case Bigfoot turns over. We have some footage that I want to show you that Bob Chandler has provided for us. All right, we have Ram Tracks and Full Metal Jackets. Mike, there's Ram Tracks, a tank out of Jefferson City, Missouri. Don Van Loo, the driver.
This is a 528 cubic inch Hemi in the other one. This one is the Full Metal Jacket. This is the twin-blown, alcohol-burning Chevrolet. Look at this little truck. I mean, hook and hook hard. Good tight turn is mandatory in this. Look at this. They're amazingly close. It's in the lead. The Dodge is in the lead as they spin the other tank out. They spun out Full Metal Jacket. And that was all that was needed for Ram Tracks. But Kent, he was in the lead before they spun the vehicle.
It looks like, and we'll see it on the replay, this is just for show as Full Metal Jacket finishes out, but he did a 360 around the turn.
Ram Tracks with a lead. Now, there's a little blue one on the far side, but look how tight he makes the turn. And he's on the throttle. He's got him covered, but now we're in trouble with Full Metal Jacket. It's crossways, 360, but Ram Track just cooking right across the finish line. So we're going to put Fast Tracks against Ram Track in the finals of this.
Look at that. Looks like a shark, doesn't it?
The winner, yes. The winner of this will run the Taurus truck. You got to think that Taurus has got an advantage.
Well, I would think, but we'll see. You know, that Fast Tracks is, for a tank, a real smoker. It's on the far track now. There it is, Bigfoot Fast Tracks, the latest brainchild of Bob Chandler, on the computer, and frankly unveiled here in 1989. It's his first year. And Ram Tracks right there from Jefferson City, Missouri, will go. This is an upset. I did not figure that truck to be a tank to be there.
No one had that plan. But can he do this? I mean, if he does this, he is no doubt. Whoa, look out! Look out! He's trying! He's trying! But no, not tonight.
Dan
have got to give a gold star to Ramtrax.
Absolutely. Watch the turn that Ramtrax makes.
Pulls the right lever and just dirt goes everywhere for the right. Just keep it down on the ground. That's all you got to do. Keep the throttle wide open. Now Dubes with a good lead and outside for a win.
So Dubes wins it. Fast Tracks now comes to the near track. It will go head-to-head with the monster truck Taurus. And the winner will win the battle of the monster trucks.
Dan Dubes got to feel a little more pressure. He's carrying the blue for Chandler.
He really is. Taurus has had an amazing night here, and now will try to parlay it into a win over the tank vehicle. They wait for the green flag.
You got to think Taurus has got an advantage going into this, even though, you know, he's single blown, and this is two supercharged motors over on this side. He's got a big lead out of the start, but Dan Dubes is not letting up. Taurus is still in the lead. Taurus with a good lead coming around. It's throttled down for Taurus, and Taurus will take an easy win.
I think in that situation, Mike, the tired vehicle always has the advantage.
Well, and it's lightweight. It's good design on it. It is a tremendous vehicle. Taurus, there is your winner, Ken, and he has done an awesome job.
A beautiful truck driven to perfection. Taurus, the winner tonight. Jack Willman, Madison, Illinois, a race driver by profession and a winner here at the Astrodome tonight. Let's run down your winners tonight. In four-wheel drive, the lady is the champ, Donna Webb in Sudden Impact. Two tie for tonight's honors in two-wheel drive, Scott Dews in the Orange Blossom Special, and Bill Romsberg in the Rice Burner. In the tractors, it was Bill Leichner behind the wheel of the Dirt Slinger who won tonight. And in the battle of the monster trucks, Jack Willman's Taurus, unbeatable. Yes, it was a battle of the monster trucks deluxe, and the night belonged to the Bull, Taurus. Of course, not only that, Mike, but also the modified trucks. I don't think anybody would have figured the bad luck that Dan Quello had here tonight.
There's no way. He was favored coming into it. He lost it in 25 feet.
Of course, nobody will begrudge Red Grogan. He's a gifted driver. It's 2 years in a row now for Red, and now suddenly he becomes the franchise or the dynasty.
Yes, but Red Grogan would have loved to have had it one-on-one in a pull-off situation with Dan Coelho.
And of course, in the tractors, the big story continues to be Art Arbuns.
Well, this is the second time to win a national championship. I don't think it will be the last at all.
Well, we'll see as 1990 rolls around the corner here in just a little bit. Mike, to you and your family, the happiest of holiday seasons.
And happy holidays to you and your family, Ken.
All right, and to you too, because the Ford, Budweiser, U.S. Hot Rod Association Truck and Tractor Pull World Championships have been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Beechwood age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Now, speaking for my partner, Mike Gallaway, and our producer-director, Mike Harbaugh, this is Ken Broo, reminding you that this has been a presentation of Bud Sports, aired through the facility.